I've got a little bit of a different video for you today. Some of you might be aware that back in the day I used to do some 3D modeling work for a group of guys. We called ourselves the Foundry, and we were behind the Doctor Who mod for Fallout New Vegas and eventually Fallout 4, although I wasn't really a part of that one. Unfortunately, life got in the way of that. But anyway, I hooked up with the guys. I hooked up with them. I started working with the guys somewhere around version 2, I think just before it launched, and then my stuff was incorporated around 2.5, I think. Technical details. Anyway, I had started out with, go figure, the Fourth Doctor's console room, and Demegi, the team leader, kept poking me for, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Well, yeah, sure, why not? So I just kept plugging away, and basically I had taken some videos and uploaded them just on private settings so he could see, what I was working on, how it was going, and then we could discuss whether or not we wanted any changes put into it, whether it was going completely the wrong direction, all that kind of good stuff. So I thought I would just compile all those videos together in a little bit of I don't know, I guess a mini series of non-informative and absolutely not tutorial or how-to type videos for you to enjoy, I hope. I was just going to do a live commentary over it all so you can sort of see where things progressed, or I should say how they progressed. And I'll throw in a couple of little behind-the-scenes model stuff that I did, I guess. Some of the animations, how they looked in Blender, which was the main program that I used to do basically everything except for NifScope. If you haven't heard of the game before, or the mod before, I should say, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for both the New Vegas version and for the new one for Fallout 4. Go check them out.
They're brilliant.
Anyway, let's get to it. So these first 3 videos, I think, maybe 4 of them, well, I guess a couple of them were from when I first made the Tom Baker console for Fallout Who New Vegas. So as you can see, the basic animation. This was before it was all implemented. This was before I think I even sent any of these files off to the guys to be put in the actual game. So you've got like, there you go, there's the working doors, the animation for that. I tell you, these animations, they were a pain in the butt to figure out. Willow there, and oh, what was that iBot's name? I don't even remember. Anyway, there you go, working scanner shutter before there was even a scanner back there. Horrible sound effects. All the controls that I had finally animated. And I remember filming this, I was doing it in the right sequence, but again, nothing was, yeah, I shake the camera, nothing was actually scripted in or anything like that. It was just all hooked up, just basic script animations. Walking outside. Oh, and that was one of my first actual remodels, retextures, I guess. The outside of the TARDIS, doing the 9th and 10th version. Ooh. Oh yeah, I forgot. People would turn black because all the lighting was wrong. It would just be all black, silhouetted out. What do we have next here? Oh yes, the proper sounds for the doors. Yes, I remember this one. And showing off, I had done the animated glows there. There's the proper sound effects, that's better. Added the storage cabinet in. Of course, all this ended up basically being put into the mod, so if you've played the game, you know about all this. But, I figured I would start with these ones because they were a little bit more noticeable. The old... Those animations, I tell you. They weren't the greatest, but I tried to make it look like you were interacting with the pieces, right? You were, if I could have added the put your hand on it and spin it, I would have, but I was not going to get into character skeleton animations. If that was even possible at that point in time, I don't even think it was. Might have only come into Fallout 4, I don't remember. And the teaser video that I had shot for this, I think this was after it was announced, officially, quote unquote, announced as being part of the mod. With, what was his name? TARDIS Blue. His beautiful music. Sorry if I'm speaking a little bit loud, but I've got my headphones on while watching the videos. So all of a sudden I've got the music in my head. I tell you though, getting that project finished, getting all those animations in, the what was it, the proximity detector panel there with the moving and blinking light in it. It was challenging, but it was a good time. Once everything kind of fell into place and I quote unquote knew what I was doing, it was quite the experience. Kind of warmed the heart to see it when it was all finished up. The back room that was never finished, at least at that point in time. Of course, it got finished later. But proper glow effects. I tell you, once I learned how to do those properly, it was just just kind of went haywire with it. All the lights and blinking that I could add to it. So what do we have next? We've got the back room. I added the music to this one too. Better lighting in there too. Look at that. All the when smoothing with Blender, you got all those weird distorted fragments in the curves, like you can see them in the roundels there, the weird like light shapes. I don't recall if I ever managed to fix those properly even in later work. I think the Spyduck was the only one that was able to get them completely smooth looking without the weird little fragments. What are we doing here? Oh, we're going on a walkabout. That's what we're doing. This was when I was making the corridors. So I was making the classic corridors here. Look at my frame rate. Oh, I did all this work on a old POS laptop because that was what I had. Thank goodness for the upgrade that I've got here. But yeah, that's probably why it's all shot in, I think, 720p, and it's just the frame rate is like 15 frames per second because even my non-high poly models, these ones were just grinding it really bad. But then again, I had problems even just in the Coral desktop, the Coral console room. It just totally bogged it down. I don't know what was going on in that room, what part of the model. Dead body. Anyway, it was just a complete system hog on my old laptop. So it was a struggle to find a balance between detail and playability, which was unfortunate because I only had my rig to test it on. So I think a lot of the work that I did was not downplayed, but it was definitely scaled down. Oh, look at the frame rate there. Just dying looking back into the TARDIS. Funny story about this room, I'll tell you later. But I had to try and balance it, and the only way I could test it was with my rig, so I had to keep everything kind of lower poly in order to try and appease what I could only guess at that time was other people's rigs and playability. So, you'll see things that are, obviously could have been better quality, more vertices, more faces, more whatever. Oh yes, the glitchy floor. That was a pain in the butt to sort out. I had to build all of these consoles, sorry, not consoles, corridor pieces to the scale that was already made by Spyduck with his original ones. And so, and there was a piece here and there that was not fully lined up properly for whatever reason in the GEC. So you once in a while you had that, you could see the distortion effect where the two pieces overlapped. And I think the only way I really ended up fixing that was actually tilting the floor. I had to raise the floor up on one side and lower it down on the other side ever so slightly. Like, I mean, like, just nano dots in the model itself, fractions of a fraction. But that was the only way to actually get it to not clip through each other without, because they would have had to have redesigned the entire interior of the TARDIS just to fix those one or two spots, which, you know, they're not going to do that. Why would they? Can't blame them for that. The old engine room, which eventually became the Eye of Harmony. Oh, and here we go. This one actually has sound. Hooray! Another walkabout. This was me fixing, or not fixing, sorry. This was me discovering all of the issues where it was all going to be clipping into the old rooms. So I was showcasing for the guys the problems that were going to arise when this was fully implemented. And so I had to actually go back to all of the rooms and adjust them ever so slightly so there was no clipping issues. Not only with with these currently in progress corridors, but with the previous ones as well. So I had to kind of incorporate ways to work around the weird clipping issues that didn't break it for the corridors that Spyduck made. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I think this is a long clip.
Do you smell that? Oh, it's awful.
Sorry, Willow. Anyway, I think I will fast forward through this clip because I think this is like a 10. No, it's not a 10-minute clip. Is it a 10-minute clip? Let me see. Oh, geez, it is pretty close to it. Oop. So yeah, I think I will. Yes, it is a 10-minute clip. It's over. Oh boy, I will fast forward through this one and then I'll catch you up in the next one. So I forgot all about this little clip here. I had been actually playing the game and was attacked by a enemy vessel, the Daleks, and they managed to beam an enemy on board. I got the little notification up on the top of the screen there, your ship is being invaded. And, I fought off the attack, landed the ship, and went searching. And I searched the entire ship up and down and never found Invader. And kept searching, couldn't find him, gave up, figured, must have just been a glitch. Carried on and testing for hours. I play tested stuff until I was doing this video and I came around the corner straight into this guy, glitched into the side of the wall. Scared the crap out of me, but there he was. He finally decided to show his face. I think he must have glitched outside the wall when he spawned in, I guess, and must have just been falling in the background. So there goes Willow. Good times. Got out my baseball bat. Where is it? There it is. I'll just leave this clip in for now. can't see you. Apparently he can't see her either. Take that. All right, here we go with the next one. This was after I had started remodeling some of the rooms, so I was adding in the detail, and yeah, so I had obviously based that one off the art gallery from the 50th anniversary, and I had started working on fixing all the rooms up. More dead bodies. Still that clipping issue there. Wandering around looking for. There's the med lab, med bay, whichever. The med bay and the laboratory, and there was another room I think that shared the same basic room model. So that was pretty easy to carry over. The just very slight minor aesthetic changes. Basically just adding in the lights and the little roundel details. Bleh, excuse me. Basically they were just kind of flat walled rooms, so I just added those to too little, yes. I just added those in to incorporate some more TARDIS-y feel to it. This was the galley as I was working on it. I gave this one the very old style, Hartnell years kind of roundels, and coloring. I think the walls ended up being having a slight tint of green to them. All custom. The inside of the roundels were flat pieces, were flat planes, but I had made high poly models of the actual roundels themselves, and then baked a normal mat for them. I did the same with the regular classic ones too. Alrighty, folks, I'm going to just chop this up right here and make this the part 1 because 16 plus minutes is probably long enough, and doubt that anyone's made it this far anyway. So if you have, awesome, stay tuned. Part 2, I'll pick up where I left off here in the eye and carry on from there. Hope you enjoyed this completely uninformative look at some of the stuff that I made for Fallout New Vegas. Bye.